it was a great time. I enjoyed it very much. And I have actually a good story or two about my time over there. But I enjoyed watching the Rumble on Saturday night with the guys because we had our Royal Rumble lottery, the first ever Royal Rumble lottery. And so I do think it is fitting right off the bat to recap who won said lottery. And anytime we talk about the Royal Rumble here on the program, we have to play our snazzy intro that GC whipped up. Without further ado. Yes.
Oh, this is nice.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, gents, it's in the books, and we have winners. GC, would you like to announce the winners?
Yeah, let's pull up the graphic here.
Oh, yes, let's do that.
Actually, we don't have the graphic.
Okay, we don't. What happened?
Which is my own fault.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have the proper software pulled up.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, this is, if you guys could talk amongst yourselves.
Okay, well,
Sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays.
Yeah, I will announce
Right, Frank.
that Frank had the number one pick, right? In case anyone missed it, we did the lottery with the I picked out balls for all 5 of us. So GC, New York Rick, myself, Frank, and Crypto. And we each got 6 slots, 1 through 30. And those numbers that we got were for the men's rumble and the women's rumble. And there was a lot of belly aching. Oh, it's rigged. It's not rigged. In the end, Frank wins the women's rumble because he had the first pick, which was Rhea Ripley, who lasted over an hour, incredibly so, and was the first woman to ever go 1 through 30. So congratulations to Australia's own, another Australian athlete doing big things on the combat scene. And I won the men's rumble because I had 30. Cody Rhodes comes in at 30, wins the whole darn thing. And that was very exciting. Now, we each put in $20. But then on event night, we added a new wrinkle, which was $10 more to the person who has the number associated with the wrestler who got the most eliminations. And so in the men's rumble, Frank and I were tied because he had Gunther won, I had Cody Rhodes, and so we were tied, so we have to split that. But then in the women's rumble, again, Frank wins, cleans up because he had Rhea Ripley. Now, the best part about all of this, New York Rick, Frank didn't watch a second of any of it and was complete. We were all locked in. Frank couldn't care and was chiming in like, did I win? What's going on? It was great.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Defend yourself, Frank.
I was working, and I have to say, it was fun to be able to, work and look at my phone and see, oh, there's 30 new messages. What's going on? And then it was a mixture of
30,
do you notice
he's on the low end.
Yeah, do you notice the 30 is a bit of a...
At one point, it was 118.
Wow. Do you get annoyed?
Not at all. No, this is my point, if you let me.
Okay,
no.
sorry.
So at one point, though, you guys are talking to each other, and it's so confusing because you're like, oh, like, good job, Ariel. Oh, he's going to win. And then later on, it's like, oh, good job, Rick. He's going to win. So I had no idea who was actually winning, what was going on.
You could have pulled up the Peacock.
Yeah, I'm sure that would have made my boss happy.
Let me say 2 things that have me on mega tilt.
Okay.
Number 1. Ariel Helwani being 2 full minutes ahead of us.
Oh,
is that what it
things
was?
as if we're supposed to know what's going on.
Okay, well, first of all, you could have told me to stop.
I mentioned it.
Yeah, and then I stopped. And then I stopped.
Yeah. I will say there was one point where like we're getting near the end. I think it was either 29th or something, and you were like, "Oh my!"
Oh my!
And I was like, "Who's it gonna be?" And it was Ricochet.
It was my Ricochet.
No,
it was gonna be the
he
Rock.
said, "Oh my!" He said, "Oh my," because he knows that means that he is then locked into the winner. With 29
I thought you were like,
but again, to your point, you don't know that.
I'm sorry. How am I supposed to know?
Okay, so mega tilt. Number 2.
Why did you tell me to stop?
I think they did. Yeah.
Frank, who obviously didn't watch, doesn't care about this at all, gave no blood, sweat, and tears into this, comes in today and is like, oh, did you happen to pay yet? Like, Frank, what, Frank?
I even asked that the
How
night
dare
of.
you?
Wow.
Can we talk
dare
about
you?
your second, the bet you wanted to make? Also, we do have the graphic now. We worked through the technical difficulties.
Thank you.
There.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
Look at that.
Number 1 and number 30, the magic numbers.
Yeah.
Your elimination.
I didn't love. I mean, I have a lot to say. No one really wants to hear any of it, but I'll just say I didn't love that Cody was 30, if only because once we got to 29, it was obvious he was 30, and then it felt like he was going to win. I like the one spot. Feels a little too clean to have the 1 in 30 win.
If you don't know the odds, though, I feel like that's fine.
Yeah.
But because we know the odds and know that Cody is the odds-on favorite, then it eliminates the drama. But if you're just a wrestling fan who's watching this and doesn't know Cody is the betting favorite, then it might be cool that he came in 30 and wins it, you know?
Can we talk about how I had no chance?
Yeah, no.
You see, well, here's the thing. You were lamenting that from the beginning. You were ho-humming a lot. So then I added this new wrinkle, and I said, all right, to give someone who doesn't get a Cody, because like a Gunther, right? He didn't win, but he got, I think 5 eliminations or something like that. So it's still
you were in it with Sheamus. Sheamus was getting a lot of eliminations.
Yeah, so it still gives you an incentive. It's not the $20, but it's still the it's the $10. Yeah. So I was doing that for you guys.
Great. I mean, how you two are the only ones who benefit from anything. It's fantastic.
Which I didn't come close in that category either.
Me, Joe, and Connor just sitting there twiddling our thumbs, watching.
Admit it. It made it more fun, right?
It would have if Cody wasn't 30.
What do you mean by that? If he was 14,
then it would have been like, oh, maybe he's not going to win.
Yeah.
It eliminated all drama. It made it very boring.
Yeah, but that was only at the end, right? I mean, like he only stayed for 10 minutes.
I feel like we need like a point system.
This was the worst one to do this, knowing the betting odds, because we knew once Rhea comes out at number 1, okay, she's going to win.
Yeah, but there was still like,
comes out at 30.
It was still like, oh, is Charlotte going to win? It was still
Charlotte wasn't even in it.
You guys were complaining.
Charlotte,
but we didn't know. We didn't know. And then there was Sammy. There was the whole thing. Don't make it seem so obvious. Sammy didn't show up, but we were like, oh, is Sammy gonna win?
The betting odds killed the drama. If I didn't know the betting odds, it still would have been a lot more fun. The betting odds killed it because I knew exactly.
More fun than not having any skin in the game.
Oh yeah, I would do this again.
I would do it again.
But I also think a point system would be.
What's the point system?
I don't know. I'm still working.
Oh, okay.
Well, it could be like how long you last. That's equal to
Iron Man eliminations. Like if you win, you get like 10 points. If you come in second, you get 5.
Okay, I'm down with that.
You didn't voice any of this before.
No, I mean
Saturday.
you got to watch.
You didn't voice anything about who paid until you were the winner.
I even asked.
If I was the one bringing home the cake, you'd be real concerned.
First
about
thing
who
I asked on Saturday, hey, did you guys ever end up paying towards the pot? Just
after he wins, he starts asking.
Because I know what's going on.
By the way, I still don't know how to pay. Who am I paying?
Oh wow!
This is what I said.
Well, actually,
Frank's
Alex, can
over
you clear
here
that up for
shaking
them?
me down. He's holding a baseball bat, and I'm just like, how do I pay?
Actually, I don't really have to pay, right? Because in the end,
Oh wow!
Well,
no, because I want 20.
It's the principle.
Money. He's
it's
owed
the
money.
principle.
Sure. But am I right about that?
I believe after math, because Frank gets 75% of the elimination money because he had Rhea and Gunther who tied with Cody, and then you had Cody who splits it with Gunther. So 75% and 25%. So I think it's 87.50 to Frank and 62.50 to you.
Wow.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
See, I'm such a mensch. I say keep your money, guys. To me, it was all about the love of the game.
I already paid.
Frank,
I didn't get any money. Where's the money?
Frank.
I think the escrow is waiting to release it.
Frank needs some balls. That balls doesn't pay for itself. He's hounded me.
But overall, it was fun. Did you guys enjoy the Mountain Dew pitch?
I actually loved that. I loved it. Rick hated it.
You hated it?
What was there to like? It was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
I will say,
ring lit up.
I was sitting next to someone who was watching it, who had a stream up on or feed on their computer. Looked much better on TV than it did in person. In person, it was very hard to understand.
It was a bust on TV too.
I'm obviously I'm not like as into it as y'all are, but Bray Wyatt, I think he's number one for me. It's fun when he wrestles, like all the crazy, like scary elements.
Now I'm dying to ask you this: did you
could have called it Mountain Dew like kind of dark match?
I won't lie.
It's called the
kind of dark, like a little bit.
The product is pitch black.
It wasn't pitch
pretty
black.
regretful that I wasn't drinking on a Mountain Dew pitch black while it was happening.
Actually, when I interviewed Cody Rhodes after, he was drinking. He opened it up and said,
company man right there.
I mean, that's
absolutely. But he said it was fantastic. I said BS or no BS. This was off camera too. It was off camera.
I'm sure the drink is better than the match. I'll tell you that.
What is it, like a blackberry?
Didn't ask. We were stretched for time. I was hobnobbing with Patrick McAfee in the back. We spoke. We had it out. Still TBD on our future, but it was very nice to see him. Very, very loving.
Did you know he was going to be
big
there?
hug
When he showed up, man.
No, and in fact, no one knew. Even the broadcast team didn't know. No, I did not know. So that was fun. I wanted to say that the end was incredible, but when I was watching it live, I was like, all right, it was kind of late. The show went way too long. I was like, all right, this is cool, but when you're watching it live in the arena, especially a massive dome, 51,000 people, you're like, what do we, all right, you could kind of see different angles. Then I went home and watched it last night on TV, and it's a completely different situation. You hear them speaking, the camera angles, it's zoomed in, the chair. So I wanted to ask you guys, and in particular GC, who's not the biggest fan, you didn't really know what was going on, so you're obviously not emotionally invested in the story. Did any of that move you? Did the Sami Zayn hitting Roman Reigns, choosing none of that? None of it, like you just thought it was dumb?
Yeah, I was like kind of dozing off. I was just like,
man, it was incredible.
Is this like, all right, the pop when he hit him with the chair, that was pretty incredible. I was like, wow, these people are really into it. And then like Twitter made me realize how much it meant to like actual wrestling fans. But for me, I was kind of starting to doze off on my couch a little bit. I was just like, this feels like this is kind of dragging on. Like when they handcuffed Kevin Owens to the ring, I was just like, it feels like this is over. I also like going into it, I was like, Roman Reigns is just going to win this. Maybe I was too hard set on like The Rock showing up.
Yeah, that was the thing. With it being last and them going with the men's rumble first, there were some big expectations, but now we know why, because of that moment. Rick, come on, you got to admit. I mean, that I thought was...
I fell asleep.
Fuck.
Yeah. So speaking of which,
had I never gotten to check Twitter, I would have been like, man, pretty lame ending, huh?
Top 10.
After the women's rumble, I fell asleep.
10. That was a top 10 moment?
To me, of the last 10 years, it might be like top 3.
I have not been following the storyline at all, so I wasn't invested. Here's
the thing. You remember Mick Foley, you might remember like a Daniel Bryan. Like Sammy is the ultimate underdog, and him being involved in this and the route that they took where he's the one that initiated the violence first after being bullied is so brilliant, because now it's like he stood up for his friend, but then he got his ass whooped, as opposed to the predictable route, which was them just kicking him out and turning on him. He's the one that initiated, because he's like, enough is enough. It was such an amazing thing. And then to watch it with the dialogue on TV, which I obviously couldn't hear because I was up in the rafters, and then to see the camera angles, and then to see Jey Uso, one of the brothers, say, I don't want any part of this. Jey Uso was the one that didn't want Sammy in the bloodline to begin with, and now he's sticking up for him. There's so much. It was it was art.
You have
it was
all this
pure.
backstory.
Yes, I know. I was just so that's why I was asking you guys, as people who don't have the backstory, what did you think of it? It did nothing for you.
Didn't play.
Can I tell you guys something? On Thursday, I got to interview Sami Zayn, and we rented an Airbnb in San Antonio. He shows up, lands, drives to the Airbnb. We started doing the interview at like 4. Then we did another thing that's going to come out. We were done by 6-ish. He left at 8:30. The guy just didn't want to leave. He was just hanging out with us, shooting the shit, talking loud. This is the hottest thing, arguably, in pro wrestling right now. Just wanted to talk and hang out. It was incredible. And found out that, we essentially like grew up 15 minutes from each other. The way he got into pro wrestling was via a radio show that was my first job in media in Montreal, CFMB 1280. I was the call screener for In the Ring in 2000. He was listening in 2001. That's how he it was a crazy thing. So to talk to someone from Montreal and just shoot the shit, he was so down to earth and just so cool and chill. It was amazing, considering his stature now. Obviously a guy who's been in the game for a very long time. But we talked about that. We talked about Kevin Owens, the old feud that I had. We squashed that beef. I mean, it was a lot of productive things that happened.
You squashed the beef with Kevin Owens while talking to Sami Zayn.
I was like, Sammy, can you put in the good word? I mean, I'm not that bad of a guy. Us Montrealers, we got to stick together. So that was good. And then the next night, Taker, who's just, what an imposing figure, that guy, comes in, sweet as can be, nice as can be, accessible as can be, and even at the end says, man, you got a lot of heat with a lot of people these days. You've been laying the smackdown. Didn't say smackdown, said something else I don't remember. But I was like, man, Taker's watching the show. This is incredible. He's a big MMA fan, of course. We know this. First time I interview him since the infamous You Want to Do It moment, October of 2010. First time in person. We obviously did a Zoom thing over the pandemic, but first time in person, pinch me.
It sounds like it was a good trip.
Oh, it was a great trip. It was tremendous.
I know people call him Taker.
Taker, the dead man, the phenom. Tremendous. It was amazing. All of it was amazing. Now I'm very excited. We have to think of something to do for Mania in this regard. I don't know if it's like a lottery. I don't know what we can do because it's different. Is it just picks? Do we just say, because Mania is 2 nights, do we just say these are all the matches and it's, oh, maybe this is it. Lottery, so first pick, second pick, third, and you could pick. Okay, so my first pick is Roman Reigns is going to lose to Cody Rhodes. All right, Cody. So, and you see how many you get right based on the lottery. So you might get stuck with a tough one, and then we see how many. Obviously, I'll have some more knowledge. I mean, you could do your research.
This is the problem. You're too inside now.
But I have to say, it made me a hell of a lot more invested than I would have been if I was just watching.
Yeah, you had so much on the line, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to see, who's coming out as 17, and it's some jabron. And I'm like, all right, no chance. You know that.
Yeah. Who was number 20? I think it was Prince.
Who's number 20 or 29?
Oh no, that was
it was Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. Yeah. His thing said Prince.
Yeah.
Back.
He's the man from Ireland.
Yeah.
He's good. He's a good wrestler.
What about that spot with Logan Paul and Ricochet?
Oh, that was the best. That was the best part of the whole show. That was
his head bounced on the mat pretty bad, but I mean the spot of them going up in the air.
That was the moment where I was like screaming in my living room. I was like, oh my God.
An old school wrestler, I won't say who, I mentioned that moment, and then he DM'd me and he's like, why is this the greatest moment? This is actually a very stupid moment. The whole point of the Rumble is to get your guy out, is to take less risks. What was gained from that? I'm like, all right, fine. I mean, we're getting a little too...
it was like an arrow.
Like a real...
Incredible.
Which, and then my response was, well, if we're going to get into the nitty gritty like this, I hate the fact that an eliminated person can eliminate an active person in the ring. That happened with one of the guys. New York Rick was very upset about Rey Mysterio. I still don't know what happened there.
About it?
I don't understand.
He didn't come out.
He just never showed up?
Yeah, he just never showed up.
Yeah, so how does that, like, this whole thing should be
It was the whole thing, like, then his son came out and was supposedly ripping up his mask.
Imagine if there was a UFC fight where somebody just didn't show up and they're like, well, the other guy won. I mean, not really. They didn't even fight.
Is that real or is that
the son thing?
kayfabe, yeah.
Like, do they really have heat?
Yeah.
No.
They can't.
No. But it's a great story, and they're probably going to wrestle each other at Mania.
Oh, okay.
Look,
what happened to number 17?
I don't know. And you know what?
What
I didn't see anyone
happened?
talking about it. Did you?
I think that was the whole thing. That's my theory. That
he beat him up?
Yeah, he beat up his dad.
Oh, he beat up his dad and had the mask.
He had the mask.
Oh,
that's great.
Did they say that? See, that's the other thing. I don't have the commentary.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So there's your answer.
Like ripping.
No, that's not an answer.
He didn't show up?
He didn't show up. He still didn't come
So
to
you're
the ring.
saying the match should still be going on?
It's a disqualification. In fact, I noticed this. This is for the wrestling people out there. When Cody Rhodes left the ring, he jumped over the top rope and landed feet on the ground. He didn't climb through. He didn't roll under. He literally, and it seemed intentional, jumped over the ropes and touched the ground. So
he eliminated himself?
He's eliminated.
So
and the one
Mysterio should have won?
Whoever was number 17, Rey Mysterio or whoever replaces him, should be the rightful winner of the Royal Rumble.
Who had 17 among us?
Frank.
Frank,
oh, Jesus
probably.
Christ.
These guys just
I'll take it.
Just cleaning up.
Rick brings up a good
that
point.
means that means he won both.
He won.
Yeah, he would have, yeah.
Mother effer. Overall, it was fun. I enjoyed it. Cody Rhodes, what a mensch that guy is. Backstage, amazing.
Yeah.
Very good speaker, emotional. I'll tell you
Pulls
what.
off the bleach blonde, well.
Yeah, he does. Georgia guy. So you might, you know.
I didn't know that. Now I'm just an even bigger fan of Cody Rhodes.
Dusty Rhodes' son.
He's like the Brandon Moreno. He like washed out a little bit, like wasn't quite the guy.
That's a great call.
Goes away.
Yes.
Comes back hotter than ever. And now he's the guy. It's pretty incredible.
It would be fun to make comparisons. Like, who's Sami Zayn in MMA?
Well, I mean, I've seen you do this for like NBA and other things.
It doesn't work.
So bad, so I'm not even gonna get.
Wait, who's like a lovable underdog that got over? Leon? Not the same.
No.
Oh, wow.
I get what you're getting. I don't know. It's hard to
tough
off the top, but yeah.
Cody Rhodes really from Marietta, huh?
Yeah.
GC's got a fave now.
Listen, next 2 months are the most fun 2 months in wrestling. The road to
Atlanta
WrestleMania.
Too? So is Cody Rhodes my guy now?
That's your guy.
Sounds like
I think it is.
Such a nice guy, too.
My guy is the Miz, always and forever.
Didn't you get the Miz?
No, he wasn't in it.
Yeah, he was. For 4 seconds.
Yeah, I did get the Miz. I did get the
quick.
Miz. That's right. He was in it for very short. That's my guy. Challenge legend.
Okay, so that was a lot of fun. I'm happy we partook, and congratulations to Frank and I. I'd like to do something for Mania. I think it would be a lot of fun. A lot of MMA fans around the pro wrestling scene, so that's really cool to talk a little MMA with some of them. I saw TJ Wilson. TJ Wilson is married to Natalia Neidhart, former wrestler, now agent in the back, in particular with the women's side of things. Night is over. He's exhausted. He walks down Shout out to TJ, he's the man. And then comes back and he's like, what do you think about Izzy and Pereira? Do you think Izzy has a chance? I was like, oh, I love this. I love this. It's so great.
TJ's the man.
And so speaking of Izzy and Pereira, so on Friday, I'm about to interview Undertaker and I start seeing stuff. I don't know if it's on our text or to Twitter or something. Dana White, big announcement Friday evening. And I see speculation. Is Dana going to do this? Is he going to do that? Is Conor coming back? Is Nate coming back? Is Francis coming back? Is he resigning? Is it a power slap announcement? And it ends up being the top 2 fights for April 8th. Now, it was Izzy Pereira 2. Are we going with 2 or 4?
It's 2.
Even though it's the 4th time they compete?
It's not in the same sport.
Still feel like I have a case for, all right. Nope. And then Gilbert and Jorge. Now, he went through some other fights leading up, but we knew all of those. Was yelling. Why was he yelling so much? Did you guys notice this? He was like yelling.
It's like they didn't mic him up. Just like, bro, just let it rip.
I mean, that's his default tone. Have you ever watched those, like...
No, I haven't.
If you don't know, now you know videos.
F it Fridays, too.
It's just an infomercial.
So he's yelling. He's at the studio. And I have to admit, the first thing that came to mind was... Oh, he heard the criticism of Leon Edwards Kamaru being a throwaway comment to the president. But then the next thing that came to mind was, oh, remember that article on Front Office Sports where they said, you know, there was some criticism about like, what does he do now? And is he truly valuable? Is it possible that someone at Endeavor is like, yo, you're the promoter. Promote. Like, get people excited. Make these fight announcements into a big deal. Like if you're, like prove to us that you need to be an important part of this whole machine. Otherwise,
good theory.
Otherwise, what the hell was the point of all of that? Why did they do it?
I have 2 theories.
Okay, go ahead.
One, prior to you kind of holding their feet to the fire on the promotion element, Israel Adesanya himself said, "Announce my fight like a big fight."
Fair.
Remember they leaked it out and they dribbled it out in a press
conference. That was for the Whitaker one.
And he was just like, "What was this? Like, this needs to be better." This is his fight, and now they're doing it a little bit bigger and better. That could be one theory that I would believe, because Israel Adesanya said, "Nah, this ain't it," and so hey, now it feels bigger.
So you're saying it's more of an Izzy thing than a me thing? Fair enough. Okay, fair enough. I can live with that. I can live with that.
My more the theory I put more stock into is that this announcement was supposed to be for something else that they couldn't just bring together at the last minute.
No way. I mean, from the moment they announced it, or they announced the announcement, what was it, like 30 minutes later? 45 minutes later?
No, hour and a half.
Yeah, it was.
Delays.
Dude, it was a long time.
Could have been.
It was not. If you're implying it was Conor or something, it wasn't.
Maybe not Conor, just something else. Something else.
At one point,
tied into it.
He like got on the UFC's Instagram page and commented and was like, "Sorry, I'm late. 2 minutes," and then it was another like 20 minutes after that.
I think that was it, to be honest.
Well, it worked. Everybody was sitting on pins and needles.
30K people watching live on their YouTube channel.
It worked.
I sat on my couch for.
It wasn't 34 like the Ngannou interview. If it was 30,
but it was ultimately disappointing, in my opinion.
I mean, it was. Listen, to me, obviously, when you have a thing where it's like, oh, big announcement, you're thinking big announcement because they never do this, right?
Yeah.
It's either a throwaway tweet.
Press conference
throwaway, a leak leak is not even the word, like giving it to a favorable media outlet or something like that. It's never this. But honestly, I don't hate a world where this is the norm. Make these fights into big announcements. Make them into big deals. By the way, shout out to Izzy, who had a way better promo ready to go. Like, that was incredible.
Yeah, the Saw stuff is sick.
See, I didn't even know that. I just thought it was a cool promo, and then someone's like, "I bet you don't know."
That's the levels that it works on. It's cool for you,
yeah.
and it's cool for people who know.
It actually was very Bray Wyatt-esque, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that's why I might have liked it. I mean, I'm with you. I thought it was cool, and when he made the initial announcement about both of those fights, I was like, "Ooh, like this is exciting."
That's the way they should all be.
For a touch more, and I think the only thing that I really disliked about it was just like how late he showed up. Like, I wish if it had just been on time, I would have been like, "Cool, moving on with my day."
If everything is special, nothing is special. This should not be how.
Listen,
that's also a decent point.
12 to 13 of these a year, or maybe it's 6 of them a year.
You know what I used to like? When they would do those big press conferences.
Sure.
The season press conferences go big or whatever it used to be called. That makes a lot of sense to me. To tease huge announcement and then it's a title fight that they've announced just the same level title fights in inferior ways, in my opinion. it will lose validity. It will lose meaning if all of a sudden this is the norm of how they get announced. Also, I just think it's too hard, right? In order to keep this fight a secret, that's very difficult. I don't think they can do it practically for every single main event.
Which would you prefer, a misplaced billboard or the Dana White special announcement?
The last two announcements, if you consider the misplaced,
I think the
billboard created a ton of buzz.
Really cool.
I swear that was the UFC.
You believe that was done on purpose?
I mean, I don't know. It created so much buzz. I was excited.
It works. It works.
I mean, I don't know how you get that billboard up on the side of T-Mobile Arena for one of the biggest
by mistake
in years. Yeah, and you do it by mistake.
I will also say a little bit weird that he makes this announcement and there's no location. Like that felt a little fumbled as well.
Maybe that's
something that I was waiting on too. I was just like,
and then I think it was the UFC New Zealand Australia account that tweeted Miami and then they took it down. What I'm hearing right now is Miami's the front runner. MSG was considered, Brooklyn was considered, but with Masvidal on the card, it would make sense. And I think that was appealing to Izzy and Pereira as well to go to Miami. They haven't been to Miami
as well.
Yeah, of course. They haven't been to Miami in so long for a pay-per-view. They haven't been to South Florida in a while.
I love that.
Miami in particular.
I love that for a big pay-per-view.
A year late though, right? I mean, exactly a year ago, it was Covington and Jorge. That on 305 day. That should have been Miami, but you know. Better late than never on that one. So I didn't hate it. I saw a lot of people. I was trying to give them prompts. The only thing I didn't like was the yelling. Other thing is, he's late. That's a thing that you could have pre-taped and just rolled out at 5:30. Like there was no reason for that to be live.
This is why I think there was something else. Like it just doesn't make sense.
What do you think it was?
I don't know. I mean,
a lot of people wanted Conor TUF
speculating Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
Also, it could have been. Maybe they thought they could get the Miami aspect of it wrapped up by then or something to add that as another wrinkle on top. That feels a little different and fresher than just like main and co-main. I don't know. But it just felt like if this was the plan all along, I get it. It worked. But now next time, it's a little bit of Boy Who Cried Wolf. Next time they say big special announcement, people are going to be like, okay, a title fight or a main event, you know? Like,
remember there was a period where it was a big announcement. It was like a toy deal.
Yeah.
Remember that?
Again, you start
back in the day.
You start to tune it out. You start to go, I don't know.
The Conor announcement or the Conor TUF thing, the tweet that he put out or Instagram, I think it was, on Wednesday night, it is very real. The Conor TUF thing is real. Like that's not BS.
Tony.
What's that?
Conor Tony.
I don't know about that. I would have put my money on that.
But the potential of Conor coaching TUF.
Yes, is a real thing.
Just against who is TBD.
Yes, and which would lead to him returning later in this year, probably back in third quarter or so. And by the way, remember the last time and the only time that Conor coached TUF, he coached opposite Uriah Faber and didn't fight Uriah Faber in the end. So
he needs to fight the person this time.
I don't disagree, but I'm just saying it doesn't have to be that. I would say if you're bringing him back, you might as well because of it's just I've always thought that the coach thing should probably be two people. Like, then what's the point? My question is, do we care? Is this the best way to bring Conor back?
Absolutely.
I would tune in. I would 100%.
I think you would tune in for.
You tune in for the first episode.
Yes, I was going to say two. I actually think TUF waters down the.
Nope.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder. We haven't seen him in a while. Don't you want people to pay and be like, oh, I can't wait to see Conor back? We see him for 13 weeks on some show that no one watches. Is that worth it?
People need to be exposed to Conor McGregor again in a fighting capacity, in a capacity that's not just like salacious headlines and other things that are unrelated to combat sports. Having Conor McGregor locked into a situation where he's kind of responsible to show up to a gym, train with high caliber athletes, do that on a regular basis is only going to be good for him and is only going to be good for the rest of us.
Yeah, you just get so much Conor McGregor content.
Conor content machine.
Of 13 weeks.
Yeah.
I would be tuning in for sure.
Even if you're not tuning in, you're getting it on social. That's the best case scenario.
Who do you want him coaching against?
Can I be fantasy world or does it have to be grounded in some sort of reality?
Yeah, no fun if it's like total.
Probably Chandler.
Yeah. I would put Chandler at the top of the leaderboard right now.
I don't care about a Tony Conor fight.
Yeah, that is one thing. I want to care about the fight in the end of it, so I would take Chandler over Ferguson.
Obviously take Khabib if that was on the table.
No,
but
not on the table.
Not going to be on the table. So Chandler seems like the best option left.
Chandler's at the top of the leaderboard. The Tony one is too complicated, especially with the paradigm history.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't hate it. Now the question is 55 or 70?
Do 70. Why?
Well, for Chandler. I mean, Chandler's taking that fight 55 or 70.
Yeah, just do it at 70. Why make him cut?
Yeah, McGregor's huge right now.
How many pay-per-views do you think that fight does? Over a milli.
$1 million plus, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Over
2, 3.
Oh, you think, wait.
No,
1.2.
One.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Sorry.
Do you think, I was going to say, do you think north of 0.5, 1.5?
It's possible. I think it depends to the point. Like, I think if Conor just jumps straight into a pay-per-view, I think there's going to be a lot of trepidation about which Conor McGregor is going to show up. I think there's going to be a lot of doubting. Is this guy focused? He's coming off the movie set. Like, does he even care about fighting? I think if you have him in the TUF gym and he's engaged and all of a sudden people start to buy the Conor narrative again and like look at how focused he is, I think you start talking about that number for sure. I think you get close to that.
When do you think it would be if they coach stuff?
I honestly don't think it adds to it at all.
I think it adds to it big time.
No way.
People need to believe in Conor McGregor as a fighter again. He has lost a lot, in my opinion, in fans' minds in terms of when he steps back in there, what is he going to be? I think people need to see him in a fight context.
To Rick's point as well, like the Conor content would be getting churned out on social media, even if you're not watching TUF. Like anything he says that's even remotely funny or something that you can clip off, like it will get clipped off and a lot of it will go viral. Yeah,
on like the ESPN or the Sports Center, Instagram
Everywhere.
and all that.
I think it would add to it.
By the way, can I suggest something? The last, what has it been, 2 since they brought it back to ESPN?
Mm-hmm.
They've been on Plus. If Conor's involved, I would put it on TV.
Yeah.
Both. You just
I think
Of course, but not just Plus.
Yeah.
You make this into like a ESPN
I would try to
linear.
figure out a way to get some episodes on ABC.
I mean,
would
imagine how
max
many
it.
corner bugs you'd see on ESPN, like
Right.
TUF, episode 2.
Conor involved, you have to maximize it. It can't just be a Plus thing,
Sure.
in my opinion. Even though probably, honestly, ESPN would probably want it on Plus to a degree because it would add a ton of subs.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
think they have such a fan base there. I don't think they need to do the exclusively on TUF thing. I think you go for maximum eyeballs. You go ABC, ESPN, ESPN Plus. You maximize.
ABC, huh?
It'd be crazy.
Throw an episode on there, just one. Hey, get a taste of this. The first one, maybe.
Yeah.
Conor McGregor's back. Check this out.
Could you imagine
That'd be
if it's like
massive.
on a Wednesday night? There's no chance they put that on a Wednesday night on ABC, right? At 10
Conor
p.m.?
McGregor. He is
10 p.m.
essential
maybe? 10
for their
p.m.
business.
Sheesh.
He's still got the juice, man.
Oh, he's definitely got the juice. There's no doubt about it.
Sorry, that's not
Oh, jeez. Pardon the pun. Michael Chandler, I think, would be a great foil
perfect.
because if we are going to blow this out, he's just like the ultimate company spokesman, right? He's very much Cody Rhodes in that regard.
I just I can see it now. Conor McGregor and Chandler being very cordial at the start, and Chandler being so showing so much reverence and being so like kind and nice to him, and just like, thanks for the opportunity. We're gonna fight, and then Conor's sick of it by week 2 and just shitting all over.
Oh, yeah.
It'd just be perfect.
I mean, think about how many clips still circulate from the first time Conor did it against Faber.
Yeah.
The skate, when he calls him the skateboarder. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Snake in the grass.
Snake in the grass.
By the way, all could have been thrown out the window if that dude freaking wasn't careful. Jeez Louise. Who's this guy who hits Conor McGregor on a bike? And then the sequence of the clips.
Before we pivot to the bike, let me just say one thing. Conor versus Artem.
Oh, stop it.
Conor versus
honestly, that would break my heart. I don't want. Can I throw out a suggestion?
Ratings.
Could this be the way that we repair the relationship? Bring Artem back.
As a coach? He's suing him.
I don't think he can repair this relationship.
He's suing him.
Way,
what are you talking about?
What a master stroke on Chandler's part. He brings him on his.
He brings
yes.
Conor versus Artem coaching TUF would be.
Oh, I wouldn't want to see it. It would break my heart.
Oh.
I don't want to see that. A duo that we never thought would be at odds. What about that guy who hits him?
We are happy.
And then there's that sequence where all of a sudden Conor's in the car with the guy. Yeah. The guy looks like he's shitting in his pants. He's like, how the fuck?
I would be terrified. I would be like, what is going on right now, dude? Like, I would be a little bit worried, especially like, dude, he hit him in like the cuts and
yes,
pretty bad. Like, I would be.
I felt bad for the
fearful.
guy.
I
We
would
don't know
be
what
scared.
happened, but like you hear the audio from the video, and he's like, "I'm so sorry, I'm so sorry," and then you could see
Yeah.
Conor's a little bit frazzled, and you can see him or hear him get a little bit upset. You could have heard me, you bleeding. Da, 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 da. And then he's in the car with him. I was like, "Oh my god, what a crazy sequence this is!"
Imagine how shook up you would be if you hit someone in a car. Period. Like you would be like that.
Yes.
Super apologetic, and then the guy stands up, and it's Conor McGregor. Like you don't know what he's gonna do. Like what mood you're catching him in. I mean, what just a crazy turn of events. I mean, luckily Conor seems to be
okay, but
I mean,
that one shot of his
like,
buttocks,
serious.
that was a gnarly gash.
Yes, gnarly, dude. I mean, he got hit and then flipped over the car.
Oh, is that what happened? That's what you're guessing?
I think
The bike was all messed up.
Supposedly, he said that the guy was coming from behind him and was just going full speed, and because of the sun,
Oh
he
my
couldn't see
gosh.
McGregor and just like plowed right through him.
Fuck, that is horrible.
Yeah,
Oh.
I mean it's scary on both sides. Obviously,
Yeah.
McGregor even more. Like you're just out biking. And
Dude, imagine you hit a guy from the back and you're like, holy shit, what have I just done? You get out of the car.
that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
And then it's McGregor
Conor
standing
McGregor.
there.
Oh my God.
Insane. It's like just such an insane story. Like luckily, everything turned out fine. Like McGregor's okay. He took him home in his car. It seemed like they were cool about it. I just can't believe how like nice McGregor was about it.
Well,
Bikes busted.
I mean, based on what we saw.
Based on what we saw. But I mean, it seemed like the dude. They're videoing in the car. He's asking.
Yeah, the guy looked terrified in the car.
I would've been
He's like,
too.
what is going on here? Who is filming me right now? Who is seeing this? Millions of people are seeing it right now.
I will say there's not. It's a good time for Conor McGregor's reaction to be that, right? Obviously, there's accusations levied against him at the moment. Like if we had a situation where all of a sudden now he's flying off the handle, timing not ideal to be out there. So
I'd guess he probably wouldn't have been videoing it either if he was flying off the handle.
exactly right.
Who wins that fight? Chandler or Conor? If it is that.
That's one of the few competitive fights for Conor McGregor that I like. Like the top of the lightweight division, he's not touching those guys. At least I'm not convinced of that based on his last couple of performances.
Fireworks, though. Gotta be.
This is a fight where I think he's competitive in. Absolutely, he's competitive with Michael Chandler. I don't know who wins, but how can we? I mean, I don't know, GC. Maybe I'm speaking out of turn, but like I can't cap Conor McGregor right now. I really don't know like who he even is as a fighter anymore. Like I
Whatever
would
the
have a
line
hard
would be,
time.
people will dump money on him and it will move in his favor.
Yeah.
For sure.
Is there a line out yet?
Mm,
I'm surprised one of these guys didn't throw out.
there very well might be.
The thing with Chandler's going to stand and trade with him, right?
Yes.
One suspects.
All right.
I suspect, yeah.
According to some books that have it listed, Conor McGregor minus 153, Chandler coming back plus 133.
That seems right.
Wow. Really?
Uh,
Off the bat, I thought maybe off the bat, Chandler would be the favorite, and then over time, people would dump money on Conor, and then he.
So popular, man.
Yeah.
a potential McGregor Ferguson is minus 255 McGregor plus 215 Ferguson.
I could see that.
That feels like I would be playing Conor McGregor. in
Yeah,
situation.
that should be -5 at least.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm curious to see what happens. I think that it will be. I think this is what they want. Look, they even talked. They talked about the Khabib Tony TUF thing. That was something that was discussed. They really want to blow out TUF. They really want to make it into a big deal again, and that's what leads me to think, oh, maybe you put it on linear television as well. In addition to Plus and all those places, the ABC thing is a really interesting one too. If they put a couple episodes, maybe the finale, something like that. I don't know, or maybe the first episode, like
I
you
would say
said,
first, just to try and get them.
to get
First
people
and
into it.
finale, let's do it.
And then we see, if it starts filming in the next month or so, that it's probably going to be in the back end, like not July 1st. Too soon for July 1st. Also, we still don't really have clarity on the whole USADA thing, right? Yep. He needs 6 months. So let's say right now it's February. It's about to be February. So I mean, if he entered last week, it's only mid-August, right? Or late July.
Mid-July into August.
Yeah. So that's why I'm saying like maybe third quarter or so they do that. And I think that would be a huge, huge boom for the UFC.
I mean, at this point, it's just Conor McGregor's decision, right? Like, they obviously would want it. does Conor want to do it? And based on that Instagram post, he seemed pretty excited about it. So
yeah, I'm sure they love that he put that out. Who's the guy who called him up and was like, excuse me, we're not ready to announce this. Can you please put that down? Take it down, please.
I think he knows that, and I think they know that too.
Yeah, who gives a crap about that shit? All right, back into the show. We still have other things to talk about. The big face-to-face between Jake Paul and Tommy Fury that transpired on... You didn't like it, huh?
I'm just waiting till Mike Perry's fighting.
Yeah, that's true.
Just biding my time.
And I will say, and I know you can appreciate this as well. I was watching it. Obviously, I was watching Better Biev and Yard. Great fight.
Oh, what a
amazing
great
fight.
Yeah.
There was a part of me that was like, man, 2 years ago, if you would have told me that all of a sudden ESPN is devoting, 30 minutes to Jake Paul in the midst of this broadcast, when we were there, it was like, don't talk about this guy. Don't give him any attention. I was like, geez Louise, what a world, man.
Persona non grata at that time.
What a freaking world. All right, let's go back to the guys here real quick and wrap up this bad boy. A lot has happened today. Leon Edwards, Tyron Woodley dropping all kinds of bombs on us. Jorge Masvidal saying that he's coming back next week to drop other kinds of bombs. And honestly, when he was telling me, I got some bombs to drop, I was like, all right, he's going to tell me like he's got, Charles Crazy Horse Bennett. But then you've got Woodley saying something, and all of a sudden I feel, and then he started talking about Aldo and, right? Did you know what I'm saying, New York Rick? Like, I feel like my expectations went a little bit higher after that.
Yeah, for sure, as they should. It seemed like he may have undersold it.
Yes.
But let's see next week. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
I mean, the Fatty Boobatti was tremendous.
That's what we call it back in the day. Why? You guys don't call it that?
Fantastic.
You guys don't call it a Fatty Boobatti?
Never got.
Well, I was with you. I thought it was definitely a vape for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was vape and e-cig. I wasn't sure.
You've
definitely
used the term e-cig for about 600 different.
You know why? It drives people
paraphernalia.
nuts. It drives people nuts when you do that. Shout out to Novak Djokovic. Nice to see
shout out.
Australia
Shout out,
let him
baby.
back in the country.
22.
Yeah. Crazy.
Greatest to ever live.
Is he though?
Who's better?
Well, does he have the...
He's tied with Nadal. Nadal's a specialist on clay.
Mm.
Novak will do it anywhere.
Is he going to win the next one?
Yeah.
What is the next one? The next one would be French, right?
Yeah.
Or Wimbledon.
He's already taken care of Nadal in the French before. He'll do it again this year.
Wait, is French first or Wimbledon?
French.
Wimbledon,
he's a lock. U.S. Open, if they let him play, he's a lock.
Why wouldn't he play in U.S. Open?
The
vaccine
stuff. Yeah,
I feel like it's done.
No, he couldn't play this past year.
In September?
Yeah, that's why Alcaraz won.
Yeah, but like Kyrie plays and all those dudes.
You're making the argument for me.
I mean, that's crazy.
For the whole Novak camp.
What are we doing here? All right, you have to recap your Rumble picks real quick, and I wanted to talk about one last thing. So why don't you take it away?
Yeah, I mean, it won't take long. I mean, if we just go to the graphic here, just 3 greens right there. I mean, it's getting old at this point. I got this in the mail this morning from WWE, just like last year.
Wow.
Another certificate of achievement. I mean, Connor Burks predicted both the winners again of the Royal Rumble. Our very own Jedi Goodman coining me Mr. Royal Rumble. Doing this 2 years now, 4 for 4. Picked them both. I mean, it is what it is.
I'm seeing a tweet here from MMA Fighting that Sky destroyed me in the darts. Wow, a little bit harsh on the...
She destroyed me, for sure.
I mean,
for sure.
That's not even as harsh as we could go.
But how did I get off the board? God,
we should have just given her the board.
I actually was nervous. How rude would it have been? First timer comes on, we spring it upon her, and I whoop her. It wouldn't have been nice.
That's a very good excuse.
It wouldn't have been nice.
The 18, too. You also did the math wrong. When you were throwing that, it didn't even matter if you got off the board or not. You already lost.
Why?
Even if you had gotten the 60, you would have had 91. She got 93.
Yeah, that's right. My math does suck. That is true. Yeah, these things happen. But listen, Royal Rumble, you killed it. I feel like you need to, like, the text that you were sending on Saturday, you were very excited. You were very invested. I feel like you're going to be watching Raw tonight.
No.
3 hours?
He invited me over to watch Raw.
For 3, that's how long Raw is? 3 hours every week?
Oh, if you want to be a WWE fan, the amount of time that you have to invest, like we think the UFC, 3 hours on Monday, 2 hours on Tuesday, NXT, 2 hours on Friday, SmackDown. So right there, okay, you're devoting what, 3, 2, 7? Plus, usually you're gonna watch Dynamite, AEW on Wednesday. That's 9. Then you've got, I think Rampage is an hour on Friday. It's a real, like these guys who cover, like the John Pollocks of the world that have to cover this and watch all of it. I don't know how they do it.
I don't want to be a WWE fan. I enjoy these occasional things for fun, but that's a lot. That's a lot.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun.
Because even the UFC, like, yeah, it might be like a 6 or 7 hour card, but it's just one day.
Yeah.
As you just described, that's like a full-time job at that point.
Is it not a situation, though, where I feel like you'd rather catch up on WWE than UFC, right? Because it's scripted television as opposed to...
Well, then also
sports.
you get these moments like Sami Zayn turning on the bloodline. I mean, it's just like that is awesome.
Every Raw or
no,
every SmackDown? So I feel like that's the...
I'll tell you what I do, truth be told. I'll catch things here and there, but especially now that my kids don't watch it, my kids are totally out on it all of a sudden because it's all about soccer now. Like they're talking to me about the FA Cup. They're talking to me about all these things. They're talking to me about La Liga. They could not... that's all they want to talk about. They're talking about... freaking Al Nassr and Ronaldo and all this shit. I don't even know how they get these updates. Anyway, with them, it was, involved. It was a little bit easier. I'll just go on like the BT Sport WWE account. You get a little recap of the night and then you're done. And I'm not just saying that because I do work for them. It's just easy. You stay like you, New York Rake. You listen to a podcast or two. You read a couple websites. You get the updates from Cheap Heat. You get a couple bagel updates too, some haircut updates, and you're good to go.
It's all Cheap Heat.
Yeah.
I only listen to Cheap Heat. Those guys.
All right. And then on Wednesday, we're going to do UFC South Korea Jace. UFC Fight Night South Korea.
UFC South Korea hosted by the APEC.
Wow. Could you imagine?
1 a.m. main card start here on the East Coast.
Unbelievable. The main card is going to end at 4 a.m.?
I don't know. It depends. Maybe Sergey Spivak ends up TKOing Derek Lewis around 3:42.
Are you going to stay up?
East Coast time. It doesn't look good. Doesn't look good.
New York Rick?
I will be up.
You're going to stay up?
Up the whole time.
Legend. I mean, honestly, when I do a pay-per-view, you guys too, like we're still up at 3:30, right?
Yeah, but you don't do a full Bellator card before.
Oh, that's right. Level of excitement regarding Bellator?
Through the roof.
I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this, it's high on how excited I would be for a Bellator card.
Feels a little more special.
Yeah.
They have a couple of special things in the works. Perhaps I can reveal them on Wednesday. But yeah, I feel like...
I'm most excited for the Serrano Cruz card.
Oh, yeah. Hulu Theater. Serrano Cruz, Alicia Baumgartner. I'm kind of bummed that I can't go, to be honest. I would have liked to go. Hulu Theater is a great place to watch fights, as you guys know.
I love it.
Super intimate. Super, just no bad seat, obviously, right? Theater setup. It's a great spot. And anytime they come here, it's great. By the way, there's darts and boxing coming to Jersey City in April. And I got, no joke, from the people involved, a special request that they want you to be there.
You're kidding me.
I swear. They heard that you moved to... I swear on my life. They said...
You're flattering me right now because I've been watching the darts on DAZN. Last night, I kid you not, you can go through my search history. YouTube, I watched like a 25-minute highlight video from the
darts, the one that's coming to MSG in June. They said, could you tell GC about this one coming in April to Jersey City? Because they heard you say that. There's also a boxing card at some newish venue that's owned by the Prudential Center. Also, they would like for you to be there.
10-minute drive from my house, both those. I can't even tell you how there I am.
All right, there you go. Making things happen. I will not be in Saudi Arabia for Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury, but it is happening, and everyone's very excited about it. And it's going to be on pay-per-view here in America right now. Jake Paul, Tommy Fury. Who wins?
Jake Paul.
Mike Perry.
You really think this is happening? Yes.
I believe in these people. I take them at their word. It's going to happen.
I really don't think Tommy Fury is going to fight.
You really think so?
Even after the face-off?
It's months away.
Man, could you imagine?
I love the Mike Perry backup situation, though. I think we're getting a winner fight.
I like it, too. I don't know how Tommy Fury rebounds. If he doesn't show up to this one,
dude.
I don't know how you rebound.
You don't. It's done.
Oh,
You have to show up.
By the way, why was he shirtless when they did the face-off? What happened over there?
When you look like him, why not?
I know, but it was just weird.
honestly,
That was a whole weird scene a bit, right? Like to do a face-off right before the main event.
Yeah.
I didn't hate it. I didn't know if I loved. Imagine Beterbiev in the back, waiting,
too long,
and he's like, "What the fuck am I waiting? What is going on here?"
One of the best boxers in the entire world.
Yes,
and it's just like, what is this? Like, why am I not walking right now?
It was a little bit weird, but wow.
I mean, that I'm okay with.
No, I know. Listen, I like I said, I didn't hate it. I don't feel. It was just like I was thinking of Beterbiev, the stone cold killer in the back, being like, can we hurry this up, guys? What is going on here? And he's incredible. I love watching him fight. Of course,
that whole fight was amazing.
Yeah,
Yard looked fantastic in the early going.
Did you bet on it?
No, I didn't. I just watched it while I was throwing darts. Just throwing darts, watching fights.
Some people like to, do push-ups, do sit-ups, right?
Oh man,
you like?
I got a perfect view of my TV while I'm throwing them. It's just, it's just as good as it gets. Just playing some 501, whatever the proper name for it is. Watching some fights.
I've heard there's different games like Around the World. And all this, you've heard of these things?
Yeah, there's another one that I can't.
There's another one with a funny name too. Oh yes, Survivor.
Got to get all the all the numbers, cross them off. Lately, I've just been 501. Whatever the tournament, the professionals.
Yeah.
I mean, if they're not careful, I might be competing at MSG the way I've been going. I mean, hit my first 180.
A celebrity. I don't know if it would
Michael Smith really comes in studio.
This is the plan.
I want to go head to head against them.
You want?
Wow. I mean, he'll embarrass me, but. Just to say that I did it.
Yeah. That's like, shooting a couple free throws with MJ or going one-on-one with MJ. God, I can't believe I did so bad. I can't believe I got off the board there.
Well, you got Wednesday to redeem yourself against Mr.
Bad.
Darts himself.
Oh, it was so bad. Yeah. Eddie. We'll see. All right. I think we're good. Was there anything else that we needed to talk about?
So dismissive.
Of what?
Just, you're like, we're just done.
Well, what do you want to hang out? What else you got, Frank?
Have we not done?
Which I wanted to speak of. You guys are, talking about Royal Rumble. I'm at work. I like it. I pick up the phone. There's 100 text, and then as soon as 11:45, it's just crickets from everybody. And
I was up.
Yeah, I started dozing off. I'm not gonna lie.
Almost felt like sending a message like you up.
No, I mean I was there. Actually, GC disappeared for like 2 hours in the middle of the whole thing, and I was like, oh, I thought you went to bed. I was there.
No. I was, Pete's Saturday night.
I was burning the midnight oil. I was backstage. I was doing all kinds of stuff. And you couldn't even be bothered, Frank. You didn't even watch it. You didn't even turn it on.
I watched it through you guys.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I passed out for a little bit, woke up, and it was like the press conferences.
Yeah.
Like Rhea Ripley was like at the press conference. I was like, what is going on? I was like, I have to go to bed, dude. I had to drag my ass off the couch.
That's amazing. That is incredible. Yeah, no, it was a great time, Frank. Thank you for all the recommendations. A couple of people from San Antonio told me that they felt you undersold it. If I'm being honest, I think you oversold it.
Yeah.